As a pet parent, how often have you found yourself fawning over your pet and describing how much you absolutely adore them? Odds are probably too many times to count. Your dog might not have the right words to let you know it loves you back just as much, but they have a way of showing you their love and faith by displaying a few signs. Today, we'll be dissecting 10 of these signs. From making eye contact to stealing your shoes, here are 10 signs to ascertain that your dog trusts you. Number 10. Watching out for you. Your dog is always going to be leading you while you two are out on a walk. Pets tend to get excited when they go outside for a walk, exercise, or play, often a combination of the three. While outside, you'll notice your pet tends to look back at you from time to time. Now your dog is probably rolling around having the time of its life. Then why does it look back over at you every now and then? The answer is they trust that you're looking at them and want to ascertain whether or not you're enjoying yourself too. Dogs are incredibly smart pets. They know how to dissect emotions, patterns, and behaviors. One of the major reasons why they look at you is to deduce whether you two are on the same wavelength or not. Like, look, I'm having so much fun. Are you having fun too? Number 9. Making eye contact. As humans, we tend to subconsciously associate human traits with animal behavior and make deductions based on how humans would perceive certain behaviors. For example, if you're nervous or intimidated, you won't be making eye contact. On the other hand, if you feel comfortable, you'll hold someone's gaze. Dogs tend to do the same. In some cases, they'll stare at objects or people, perceiving them as a friend or foe. With their pet parent, they tend to make eye contact in a behavioral pattern experts term as watch and see. This is a behavioral pattern often taught in obedience schools, but sometimes you can unknowingly teach your dog about it. What is it? Basically, your pet watches you and waits to see if you'll help them out. They might do this to ask for assistance, look for praise, and a multitude of reasons. Bottom line, if they look at you, they love you. Number 8. Don't panic when you leave. It's important to understand that love doesn't always equate to trust. Dogs are incredibly friendly and loving. It won't take you long to get them to love you. They'll waggle their tail when you're around, leap up in excitement, and play with you all day long because they love you. But do they trust you? If they panic whenever you're out of sight, then odds are they probably haven't found a way to trust you yet. There's no way to reassure your dog that you only left to go to work and will be back in a couple of hours besides displaying a patterned behavior. For example, if you leave at sunrise and come back by noon, your dog will associate the sun's position at noon with when you'll return. To get your canine companion to trust you, you need to show them that you're coming home at an expected time every day. Number 7. Stealing your shoes. Animals, especially domestic ones, rely heavily on their sense of smell to deduce emotions. Think about the last time your dog met another dog. What was the first thing they both did? They probably smelled each other's butts. Why? Because that's where scent markers are located. The best and most accessible way for your dog to smell you and associate your smell with comfort is by stealing your shoes. It's at their height, and it probably reeks of you. While it's probably not ideal to have you hide your shoes from your dog, it's important to understand where they're coming from. Maybe set aside a pair specifically for your pet to play with. Number 6. They respond to your command. Relationships with humans and with animals are based on mutual respect for one another, especially if you want to form a lifelong bond with them. If your pet listens to you and responds positively to what you ask them to do, they have developed a sense of respect for you. Adoration came before respect. Remember that. Dogs are friendly and will play with you no matter what. But if they obey you when they formed a connection with you, that's respect. However, their response should be so because they trust you and not out of fear of punishment or negative reinforcement. Number 5. They want physical touch, hugs, cuddles, and belly rubs. While it's important to understand that some breeds of dogs are more overly affectionate than others, they all have one way or another of showing their adoration towards their pet parent. And this way usually involves physical touch. Not all dogs are fond of hugs. Some might not like belly rubs, and some don't respond well to cuddles. However, even the most conservative and seemingly non-affectionate dogs have one way or another via physical touch to show you that they love you. For example, they may lean on you, sleep beside you, rub up against your leg, and several other similar subtle ways of showing that they trust you. Number 4. Giving you presents. Your dog might not wrap a pretty little bow around a twig when they're giving it to you, but it's the thought that counts. And in this case, the thought is love and trust. Dogs that present their pet parents with their favorite toys, things they find in the street, or just chew up remains of whatever they laid their paws on, do so to show you that they appreciate you. It's learned behavior. They see you giving them presents for a job well done and are trying to mimic the same behavior. Their presents are often things that they find enjoyable. For example, you might not go crazy at the sight of a chewed-up ball, but the pet will lose its mind over it. And the fact that they're giving it to you shows that they love you enough and trust you enough with something that's special to them. Number 3. Falling asleep beside you. Studies have shown that pets who sleep beside their owners tend to trust them more than those that don't. While it might be a little inconclusive considering how not all animals respond in the same way, it's often believed that dogs will only sleep with you if they know that you're going to be there for them when they wake up. They find it more comfortable to sleep with you because they want to be able to look at you when they wake up, smell the sheets that probably smell like you, and sometimes even ask for physical touch before going to bed. Pets sleeping beside us is adorable. It's made even more wholesome by the fact that they do it because they trust us. Number 2, they're relaxed when you're around. Your pet tends to feel a lot more comfortable in your presence. They ease up, they lean forward, and they waggle their tail. All signs that show that your dog is delighted to see you. The most clear-cut sign that your dog trusts you is that they seem relaxed in your presence. This doesn't always equate to jumping up and down. While that might be a sign of happiness to see you or eagerness to play, they tend to be more relaxed around people they know aren't a threat to them. An animal's ancestral instinct is what makes them perceive anything and everything as a threat until proven otherwise. Dogs follow their instincts too. They need to be able to ascertain that there is no threat around them before they can relax themselves. In your presence, they feel like there's nothing that's a threat to them, and they'll feel calm. Number 1, your dog allows you to examine it. If your dog is constantly licking its paws, there's a chance the paw is inflamed. Licking releases endorphins or happy hormones. Your dog's excessive licking is a sign that it's in pain and is trying to find a way to relieve the pain. Now, when an animal is in pain, the last thing they'd want is to allow someone to inspect the exact area where they feel the pain. However, if your dog allows you to examine it, in this case its paw, it shows that it trusts you and knows that you won't harm it in any way. In other cases, your dog might come to you itself whenever it's in pain or in distress because they trust you enough to know that they can come to you and you'll find a way to relieve them of that pain. In your dog, you've probably found a friend for life. They're loyal, lovable, and trustworthy companions, which is why you should try your best to be the same to them. Alright, comment down below if you learned a thing or two about your dog today, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to INFORAMA, and we'll see you in the next one.